strategy doesn't just help businesses gain investors' confidence, it also facilitates value creation, cultivating business growth with a commitment to sustainability. How can your organization leverage ESG to tap into new opportunities and attain a competitive edge? Especially when there are multiple local and international ESG standards and frameworks to adhere to. The answer is simple. By connecting data, people and purpose via the same platform, your organization can effectively address gaps in your ESG efforts. And we're here to help. Drive your ESG transformation with Bursa Malaysia's CSI solution. Designed for corporates and their suppliers at all levels of readiness and maturity to help them navigate evolving ESG standards with data-driven insights. The CSI solution covers a broad range of ESG themes, ranging from climate to labor rights and health and safety. Through the CSI solution, you get a single point of access to everything you need for your end-to-end ESG management needs. From tools to streamline ESG data management and disclosures to targeted training and resources. So you can maximize business value creation while optimizing your ESG resources and driving progress across the supply chain. Get your Scope 3 estimates and gain an overview of the hotspots in the supply chain. By identifying high emission areas, you can initiate impactful emission cuts with your suppliers while also providing them access to upskilling in ESG management. Plus, you can generate a comprehensive report mapped across multiple frameworks while having to disclose only once. Additionally, you will receive support. Our partnership with experts across diverse fields enable us to provide you capacity training, upskilling opportunities, onboarding services, as well as cutting-edge digital assistance. On top of that, you'll be part of a community that enjoy exclusive benefits, including connections to potential investors, as well as new business and trading opportunities. Drive your ESG transformation with Bursa Malaysia's CSI solution. Sign up now at bursa-malaysia.com.
Hi, very good morning. Very excited to be here today. Very good turnout. Congratulations to the organizing team for pulling this off. It's a very good crowd today. Very happy to be here. So I'm very privileged to be appointed as the spokesperson for Bursa for this event. I hope I will be able to bring value to this conversation, because I know that prior to me standing here, there were a few gentlemen up here already talking about ESG, giving you tips and pointers on what are the things you look out for. So I do have an uphill task to tell you what Bursa is doing right now, and that conversation is supposed to spur you into action, get you excited, maybe get you a little bit anxious as well, and get you engaged, to see how you can participate as part of the journey. My uphill task is that I only have 15 minutes to do so. So fingers crossed, I'll be able to do this in an effective manner. Okay, so let's start off. So we'll start off with a little bit of an overview of what Bursa has put forward in the last decade in terms of ESG or sustainability specifically. So our journey started way back in 2006, when we wanted to spur corporate Malaysia into doing more, giving back to community. So we started with very easy philanthropy, CSR. So we wanted companies to start disclosing, from the very beginning, what are you doing, giving back to community. Then as we progress, you see, in 2014, we launched an ESG index. So this one was more holistic. It involves more thought about your business, how you're doing it and everything. So 2014, 𝗕𝗨𝗥𝗦𝗔 index was launched, and that was how I started also my involvement into ESG with the exchange. Because prior to this, right, I have been in exchange for many years. So when I started, I was called the data girl. Then eventually I was called the index girl. Then when I transitioned to 2014, I was called the 𝗕𝗨𝗥𝗦𝗔 lady. So, okay, from girl to lady, then you know what I'm getting to, right? So when we launched the CSI last year, I started going to the market to talk about CSI. So right now, probably people are thinking, is this the 𝗕𝗡𝗅 for Good lady, CSR lady is all me. So my team is here today as well, engaging with PLCs about what we are doing for the market and how PLCs can participate more actively into our program. So you can see the ones that is in green are the ones that I will be spending a little bit of time talking through. So 𝗕𝗡𝗅 for Good, then 2015 is when we launched a toolkit to help companies address the listing requirements, the reporting requirements you as a listed entity should discharge. So thereafter, in 2002, Bursa Malaysia rolled out this Public Listed Companies Transformation Program, PLCT. So this is something also that public companies can tap on, leverage on. And very quickly, 2023, last year, we launched the CSI solution. That was the video that you saw just now. So I will just spend a little bit of time later to talk you through, instead of referencing the video, what it means for corporates and for SMEs. And also, I would like to spend some time to talk about 2024 and beyond. So we had the 𝗕𝗡𝗅 for Good index that was rolled out. Then after that, what did we do with it? Now, how did we evolve from thereafter? So first off, the PLCT. So what it means is that this was an initiative that Bursa Malaysia launched to steer corporate Malaysia towards higher levels of performance through a growth narrative. So what it does is that it's intended to draw investability, profile companies in the way it should to attract more investment. And we are guided by 4 digital books. So the first one is about creating purpose. The second one is very much on sustainability, ESG, the conversation today. Third one is on strengthening stakeholder management. The fourth one is about being digital, enabling the entire organization through digital means. And the fifth one is about contributing to nation building. So this is the digital book that forms the PLCT. And for companies that are still not part of the journey, please talk to the Bursa team that is here today. We can guide you through how you can participate more effectively. Okay, so this is what I talked about day on day, 𝗕𝗡𝗅 for Good. So you know that when you do ESG reporting and everything, how do you know whether or not you're on the right track? Right? You could be putting up a lot of information, but it's not hitting what the investors are looking for. So Bursa Malaysia took the stance that say that we have an index that is rolled out based on FTSE Russell's globally recognized methodology, 𝗕𝗡𝗅 for Good ESG ratings. So when we started, it was about assessing companies that had an opportunity to get on an index. So we call it the 𝗕𝗡𝗅 for Good index. So these are larger cap companies. We had about ballpark of 250 to 300 companies that were typically given an assessment year on year, 2014 up until 2024. This year, we changed the narrative. We went out and gave all companies, whether or not you're large cap, small cap, you're all given a 𝗕𝗡𝗅 for Good score as long as you're listed. So anybody that's listed will know where they stand in terms of the performance. So this is globally benchmarked, and if you have a score, this is published on our website, 0 to 5, 5 being the best practice. Although we don't publish the full details, we give you a star ratings. So for anybody above 3.6, 4 star, so on and so forth. So if your company has 1 star, you'll be compelled to spring into action if you see your competitors sitting at 3 or 4 star. So this is also about incentivizing changing behavior, right? So this is how the assessment is guided, E, S, and G. So you can see 14 teams altogether, but when the assessment is done, it's not equally weighted. I get asked this a lot. Is it equally weighted, 14 teams? Short answer is no. It is actually guided by the industry that you're in. Also, companies in the same sector typically will have the same exposure level. That means say, for example, company doing plantation, usually the environmental exposure is very high. So everything is red, 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 red. This is a blue wheel, right? Very nice. But when we showcase to companies to tell them what are the areas of focus you should have, we usually color code it in accordance to the exposure level. You can see the top box. High is red, medium is amber, right? So if you see everything red, that means your business is hard to abate and you need to do more in order to score better in your ESG ratings. And we try not to burden companies because we know that there's a lot of reporting that is required. So what we do is that this assessment is actually based on publicly available information. So companies, PLCs especially, they need to file in their annual reports, sustainability reports. They need to update their corporate websites and everything. The information is extracted from there. So there's no additional work for companies. Our job is just to tell the companies, please, if you're practicing it, put it out there. Don't be shy about it, right? ESG is not about, if I do well, people will notice, sit quietly doing my job, everything will go well. That's not the case. If you do it, you need to tell, you need to disclose. Okay, a snapshot onto how State of Malacca is performing. So this is based on our bigger market cap companies, the 𝗕𝗏𝗧𝗕𝗏𝗏 index. So right now, this is full market. So this is all main market companies, close to 800 of them. So you can see our average is 2.25. State of Malacca is 1.73. So none have a high ESG score. The highest, if I'm not mistaken, just now I did a quick check, is 2.9. So plenty of room for improvement. I'm sure it's not because there's a lack of practice, more because there is a lack of awareness about what are the things that you should disclose. Okay? And of course, when we want to incentivize change, it comes twofold, right? One, a stick to say, do more, do better, disclose more. The other one is, what do you get at the end of the day when you do more? So we actually created a ESG award based on 𝗡𝗡4Good score. So this was the most recent, this is last year's, but this year we had one just October. If you can check through the Age publication, you will see that there are lists of winners, and it's all based out of 𝗡𝗡4Good scores. Very easy. Okay, and also I need to, because on behalf of Bursa, I will need to also touch about the NSRF, National Sustainability Reporting Framework, that is coming. It's going to be announced. But this is what the new requirement is going to be. I think the gentleman from AWS spoke about ISSB, IFRS S1, S2. So Bursa Malaysia is not going to be different. It's going to be based on that, the listing requirements. Changes that's going to come will be announced in due course in a staggered manner. So the first phase will be larger companies first, then the rest of them will follow suit. So it starts as early as for the reporting period, January 2025. Okay, this will be the last segment, which is CSI, which is one of the key reasons, why I'm standing here today. So when I came for the conference yesterday, I arrived yesterday, my son, my teenager, asked me, "Mom, why are you going to Malacca for?" So I paused for a minute and said, prior to this, she also knew me as the 𝗡𝗡4Good lady. "Are you going to talk about 𝗡𝗡4Good?" He asked me. Because during COVID times, I had a lot of calls, that I had to take conference calls, and the kids kept on hearing me referencing 𝗡𝗡4Good this, 𝗡𝗡4Good that. So right now I'm saying, I'm going to sell this solution called CSI. So he looked at me and said, "What is CSI?" I said, "Wow, that's a good question, because I only have 3 minutes to wrap up, and I need to sell it to you in short 3 minutes. So in a nutshell, CSI is a corporate solution that Bursa Malaysia has put out to help corporates meet the listing requirements that is required. right? Whether or not it's a business requirement, something that the regulators have met out, or something that you want to do that you think is a best practice. And to do that, it's all on this platform. And once you have this ready on the platform, what you can do is extract true value from it. So it was launched, officially launched in June. We have already gotten very good traction. We have more than 100 corporates already onboarded onto this solution. So we are very heartened to see this kind of response from the market. That means you guys are taking this very seriously. So, very simply, we call it a solution because it's not just a system. It's building an ecosystem. So we have the platform, which is where you key in your disclosure. And we have the services. That's where we have our partners here today. AWS, PwC, Alliance Bank, one of the bank's partners, all coming together to help onboard corporates to know how to use the platform correctly to extract full value from what you disclose. So we have all this briefed in. So PwC has actually invested in doing the onboarding. They have co-created with us a maturity assessment for all SMEs, so that for you guys who do not know where you stand in terms of your ESG disclosure, you'll be onboarded onto the PwC's maturity assessment, do some easy questions, and then you get a view of where you stand, whether or not you are beginner, intermediate, or advanced in terms of your ESG practices and disclosure. Then the corporate that has invited you onto this CSI will know how to navigate together with you and work towards decarbonizing it more holistically together. So our desired outcome is this. We want to ensure that companies get an easier way to address all these standards that's out in the market. And of course, as the exchange, we have an interest to build a centralized or unified hub so that government can tap into, monitor the NDCs, see how our progress is in terms of meeting our 2050 targets. And of course, connecting to financing, and not only focusing on ourselves, but how we build value as a nation with our neighboring countries, facilitating trade through all this ESG disclosure, because the other countries also are subject to the same requirements. They will need to do the same things. So this is just how the platform works. There's a carbon calculator within. There is a digital tool to manage the entire engagement you have with your suppliers. And at the end of it, you have a reporting function that addresses all the requirements. Okay. Wow, I'm on time. I did go a little bit fast, I know. This, if you want, you can scan the QR code. Otherwise, my team and myself will be out there. Come up to say hi to me if you have any questions. With that, thank you very much.